She looked happy. Smiling in photos, traveling across America in a white van, and sharing what seemed like the perfect road trip with thousands of followers. But behind those pictures, something was going terribly wrong. Within weeks, Gabby Petito would disappear. Her fiancé would return home alone. And one of the biggest true crime investigations in recent U.S. history would begin. This is the true story of Gabby Petito. #A dream adventure. In 2021, 22-year-old Gabby Petito and her fiancé, Brian Laundrie, decided to travel across the United States in a converted white Ford Transit van. Their goal was simple: document their adventures, visit national parks, and build a travel lifestyle on social media. Their photos showed beautiful landscapes, happy moments, and what looked like the perfect relationship. But social media only showed part of the story. Friends and family later described Gabby as creative, caring, and excited about the future. She loved photography, art, and exploring new places. As the trip continued, the couple traveled through states including Colorado, Utah, Wyoming, and others, visiting famous national parks and posting updates online. To the outside world, everything appeared normal. It wasn't. #A police encounter. On August 12, 2021, police officers in Moab, Utah, responded after receiving reports that a couple had been arguing. Officers stopped Gabby and Brian and recorded a body camera video that would later be watched by millions of people. The footage showed Gabby visibly upset and emotional. After interviewing both of them, officers decided not to arrest either person. Instead, they separated the couple for the night and encouraged them to calm down before continuing their trip. At the time, it appeared to be another domestic dispute. No one knew how important that body camera footage would later become. The last days. After leaving Utah, the couple continued traveling toward Wyoming. Communication with Gabby's family became less frequent. Her mother later said that the sudden silence felt unusual. Then, the messages stopped. No verified public evidence has shown exactly what happened during those final days together. Investigators reconstructed the timeline using witness statements, phone records, surveillance footage, and other evidence collected during the investigation. What they discovered would soon make headlines around the world. The Missing Person Report. By early September 2021, Gabby Petito's family had become increasingly worried. They said they had lost regular contact with her and could not confirm where she was. On September 11, 2021, Gabby was officially reported missing. As investigators began searching for answers, another detail immediately drew attention. Brian Laundrie had returned to his parents' home in Florida on September 1, driving the same white van they had traveled in together. Gabby, however, was not with him. When detectives tried to speak with Brian, he did not provide a public statement. His family referred investigators to an attorney, and the case quickly became national news. Across the United States, millions of people followed every update. News outlets, social media users, and online communities shared photos, videos, and possible clues in hopes of helping investigators. A critical clue. As public interest grew, a travel vlogging couple reviewed footage they had recorded while driving through Wyoming's Bridger-Teton National Forest. The video showed a white van parked near a remote camping area. After the footage was shared with the FBI, search teams focused on that location. On September 19, 2021, investigators discovered human remains in the area. The following day, the FBI confirmed that the remains were consistent with Gabby Petito. Later autopsy determined that her death was a homicide caused by manual strangulation. The discovery shocked the nation and turned the search toward one remaining question. Where was Brian Laundrie? The search for Brian. As investigators attempted to locate him, Brian himself was reported missing by his family. A massive search began in Florida's Carlton Reserve, involving local law enforcement and federal agencies. For weeks, officers searched difficult terrain, using drones, boats, K-9 units, and specialized teams. The search attracted widespread media attention, with reporters providing daily updates from outside the Laundrie family home and the reserve. The case had now become one of the most closely watched criminal investigations in recent U.S. history. The discovery. On October 20, 2021, after weeks of searching, Brian Laundrie's parents joined law enforcement officers in an area of the Carlton Reserve that had recently become accessible as floodwaters receded. Not long after, investigators found personal belongings linked to Brian, including a backpack and a notebook. Nearby, they discovered human remains. The FBI later confirmed that the remains belonged to Brian Laundrie. The medical examiner determined that he had died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Although the search had ended, investigators still had one final piece of evidence to examine: the notebook recovered at the scene. The notebook. After reviewing the notebook, the FBI announced that it contained written statements in which Brian claimed responsibility for Gabby Petito's death. The FBI later stated that its investigation concluded Brian Laundrie was responsible for Gabby's homicide. Because Brian had already died, there would be no criminal trial, and many questions about the exact sequence of events remain unanswered publicly. Investigators relied on physical evidence, digital records, witness statements, and forensic analysis to reach their conclusions. A case that changed the conversation. The Gabby Petito case became far more than a single criminal investigation. It sparked nationwide discussions about domestic violence, missing person investigations, and the powerful role social media can play in helping investigators gather information. Millions of people followed the case in real time, sharing tips, reviewing publicly available videos, and helping investigators identify important evidence. The body camera footage, travel videos, and digital timeline all became key parts of understanding what happened. #conclusion. What began as a cross-country road trip filled with photographs, dreams, and adventure ended in heartbreaking tragedy. For many people, the case served as a reminder that social media often shows only a small part of someone's life, and that appearances can hide serious problems. Gabby Petito's story continues to be remembered, not only because of the investigation that captured worldwide attention, but because it encouraged broader conversations about recognizing warning signs, supporting victims, and reporting concerns when something doesn't seem right. Thank you for watching. If you found this documentary informative, consider subscribing for more fact-based true crime stories. And as always, remember that behind every case is a real person, a real family, and a real loss.